Periscopers. How y'all doing tonight? Thanks for joining me on this Friday night. Hey, Kathy, thought you were going to bed. Hey, oh, good to see you too, Mona. So happy that y'all are finding time to join me tonight on this Friday night. I've had a great day with my grandkids. Have y'all had a great day and had a good date night with my husband? So really excited to hang out with y'all tonight. I heard that he stopped by your house today. He told me that, so that's awesome. He was blessed. He got to see you today, Mona. So anyway, great to Periscope with y'all tonight. I do have 9 grandkids. I will tell y'all who I am. You took the kids to see Thomas the Train. Fun! I love Thomas. That is awesome. My name is Trina Titus Lozano, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm a counselor and an ordained Christian minister. And I do Periscope with you twice a day, and I will see you tomorrow, Sandy. You can Periscope with me. I will be around at noon and 9 Periscoping, and I will be welcoming you to Dallas as soon as you get here, because I love hanging out with my friends that come to Dallas and hang out with me for real. Periscope is good, but I love that live hangout time. So that is going to be fun. Y'all, I have been talking about Matthew 25, did a really fun experiment with my granddaughters today, and I'm going to be following up on that with them. They want me to wait and tell you what they made with them at noon tomorrow. So y'all be sure to catch that replay if you didn't already. And then at noon tomorrow, I'll be back Periscoping with them, talking about Matthew 25. So this is such a great principle. It's such a great Bible story. And in my mom's home experience book, she calls it the use what you have principle. But this is a foundational principle. It is an essential principle. And we have to really all be able to embrace that. I was just thinking lately, and I don't know if y'all have given this any thought. Of course, I'm 50 years old. And, you know, the whole idea of being fruitful and multiplying, you know, we hear that. We think be fruitful and multiply. We hear that it's like we think about, you know, the first commandment, you know, to have children, to marry and have children. And that's good. And I have been fruitful and I did multiply. I've got 4 kids and 3 are married. So now I have 7 kids and 9 grandkids, as I just said. But, you know, the fruitfulness of our lives, when I think about, I have been married for 32 years. And as I look back on my life, I recall others that were young marrieds at the same time that I was young married. And, you know, there are 18 of us now. And some of my friends, there's only one of them because of divorce and then their children leaving home and never returning, leaving home and not marrying and not having grandchildren. And so they're left alone. And that's the opposite of what we want to happen. So we want to really stay attached to the vine and continue to sow and continue to be fruitful, y'all, to be fruitful in every area of our lives, to be fruitful as we invest our time and our energy in our marriages, with our children, in our homes. And there are situations where things happen and it's not possible. But nevertheless, you know what talents God has given you, because he has given us each talents, each abilities, according to our own maturity, really, and to each, according to our own ability to handle what he gives us. But he gives us a responsibility with that. So y'all, you know what your talents are. You know what you're good at. You know what God has blessed you with, whether it is a great personality, whether it's an ability to be a great designer, you know who I'm talking to right now, or an ability to minister the gospel to people. But no matter what it is, you guys have, that's right, bless your family first. Hi from Argentina. There you go, Brittany, childbirth education for you and encouraging moms in natural childbirth and a natural remedy with a dose of joy. So it's your thing. You know what your thing is. I was talking to one of my clients this week and we figured out what her thing is. We're like, you know, you are supposed to be a fitness expert. That is your thing. You got to be a personal trainer. That is your gifting. It's your thing. I thought about another client and realized, you know what? Her thing is the military. I mean, it's the most unusual, you know, thing for a woman to be called that way. But I thought, that's your thing. Was talking to someone else and I said, you are a musician. You just are. That's your thing. And when it dawned on me many years ago that I was a counselor, I became a counselor in 1994. And when I first started going through this training with a really dear friend of mine, and was mentored by such an awesome counselor, I was just like, you know what? This is my thing. So, there we go. Try to keep it clean around here. But y'all, whatever your thing is, God, you know what I mean? Your talent. God has given you a talent. He has given you resources. Maybe he's given you money. Maybe I did. Maybe he's given you money. Maybe he has given you, I don't know, but you know what your talents are. You know what they are. Maybe he's given you an intellectual ability. He's given my brother an ability to be this incredible scientist. He's given him this incredible brain, this physics, math, science brain, and it's amazing. And it's his thing. It's his deal. It's what God's given him. But y'all, God has given us all some things that we need to be in charge over. And we've got to do the two things that I talked about earlier today. Take personal responsibility to steward what he's given us. So first of all, we got to steward ourselves, our body, our soul, our spirit. We have to steward ourselves so that we can grow and flourish and be fruitful to the best of our ability. And with God, all things are possible. So when we do our part and God does his part, all things are possible, y'all. Okay, hearts for that one. Hearts for that one. Because you guys, but we have got to invest the things that he's given us. So whatever he's given you, your talents, your resources, y'all, don't waste them. Don't be lazy with them, because he said that when he returns, he's going to check up on you and he's going to see how you use what he gave you. Okay. So be fruitful, multiply, use, there you go. Whatever you're naturally gifted at, you want to invest in that. And of course, that'll become your strength. So whatever you're naturally gifted at, whatever you're naturally passionate at, invest in that and let God even grow it. That's right. Grow it, Mona. You know all about that because you do that. Your life is so fruitful. And then you even plant seeds in others, which is building the kingdom. You invest in others. You're building the kingdom of God. That's what Matthew 25 is talking all about, is building the kingdom of God. Oh, thanks, Brittany. That is so sweet. I love giving wise counsel. And when I realized that that was a spiritual gift that God had called me to, and I sort of leaned into that, just told my daughter the story. Oh, good. That is great. I'm glad that you told your daughters that. I'm so glad, Holly, that encouraged you. That's right. And then they can watch tomorrow at noon, or at least watch that replay with you so they can see the end of that story. But you guys, whenever God sees that you have been fruitful, and he's going to check up on you, he's going to continue to multiply that. But when he sees that you've been lazy and that you have just buried your talent, or you've wasted it, you haven't used it, you don't even identify it, and you do nothing with it, y'all, it's going to go away. I ran into a lady not too long ago that 25 years ago, when we were acquainted, she sang in our church, and she had the most beautiful solo voice. In fact, she was among a group of singers that were at my wedding, that performed at my wedding. A beautiful voice, a beautiful singer. Of course, I was married 32 years ago, not sure when she stopped singing. But when I saw her recently, I said, "Are you still singing? You have the most beautiful voice." And she told me, she has not sang, I think she said, for like 20 years. Not at all. And I said, "How could you not sing? You have such a beautiful voice." Well, you know what? If you don't sing for 20 years, your voice isn't going to be that great anymore, because you haven't continued to nurture and to use that talent, and it'll actually get taken away from you. And it was sad. She needs to grab that again, recognize it again, and start using it again so that God will have an opportunity to bless it. But you guys, think about what you are. Think about what he's given you and grow those gifts and be responsible for your talent. Be a good steward of your talent, okay, with responsibility and with a great attitude, because it's all about attitude. If you look around and you think, "Oh, I've got a good voice, but it's not as great as theirs," or "You know what? I have a few talents, but not as good as theirs. I'm okay. I'm average. I'm a decent counselor, but I don't have as much education as they do. I'm not a doctor like my brother. I'm sort of smart, but not smart enough." whenever we have this attitude of complaining and then we just say, I'm not going to use my talent because I'm afraid. I don't want to be a counselor. I'm afraid. What if people don't like my advice? I'm afraid. What if I am offensive to people and they don't like me as a counselor? I'm afraid, or I'm afraid to sing in front of a group, or I'm afraid to Periscope, or I'm afraid. When we are afraid, like in this parable, and you bury your talents because you're afraid, you bury your talents because you're not really sure about how you be received or accepted, or you're afraid about that you're not going to be good enough, or you're going to afraid that your master won't think that you're quite good enough and that there won't be a big enough return. Y'all, you cannot have faith and fear simultaneously. Remember that. You've got to either be in the faith zone or in the fear zone. You got to be in that faith love zone, or you're in the fear zone, but you can't be in both at the same time. You got to pick one. So y'all, your encouragement tonight is operate out of love, operate out of faith, and be grateful, ever so grateful, with this grateful attitude of the gifts that God has given you, the talents, the money, the resources, your home, your car, any blessings that y'all have. Use them. Use them for the glory of God. Use them to build the kingdom. And you know what? When you are fruitful, it's a beautiful thing to look back on your life and say, God, I am so glad that I did not waste my gifts, because he gives you even more gifts, even more than you could even ask or imagine, just abundantly beyond anything that you could ever even ask or imagine, because he multiplies what you have done with the investment, because you trusted him to do that. And when he sees and he's so proud of you, then he's just going to keep giving you exactly, Mona, more and more and more and more, year after year after year after year. So Mona, as we are sowing right now into our Periscope audiences, by the way, y'all, if you're moms, follow Mona. She does great Periscopes on mothers, and she's a wonderful mom mentor. You guys follow her. She's great. And she is going to help you continue to grow, because that's what she does. She encourages you to grow. And so Mona and I together are going to be partners, encouraging all y'all to continue to grow and to invest in your strengths, invest in your talents, and be grateful for everything God's given you with a great attitude, and take that responsibility to move forward in doing what he's called you to do. God bless you guys tonight, and thank you so much for joining me. I so much love being with you guys. Love you, Holly. Love you, Mona. Love you, Oily Mom. Love you, Britt. You guys are all so gifted. Love you, Sade. Anybody watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. Thank y'all for all the hearts. I'm Trina Titus Lozano. Y'all check out my website, TrinaTitusLozano.com. Also, if you'd like to get my mom's book, the Home Experience book, I've been talking about this. This is from Debbie Titus, my mother. You can look at DebbieTitus.com and get a great resource there. And we love y'all. God bless you. And I will Periscope with you at noon and 9 tomorrow. Bye-bye.